Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Test, test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Good evening and welcome to the Panzer Athletic Center for tonight's NCAA Division III women's volleyball matchup between the John J. Bloodbath and your Montclair State University Redhawks. Montclair State, New Jersey Athletic Conference, and NCAA promote good sportsmanship by its student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profane, racial, sexist, or gender-related comments or intimidating actions towards student athletes, coaches, officials, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated here or else ruled from setting competition. Here tonight, starting lineups first to the visiting Bloodhounds. A senior opposite side hitter from San Valley, Arizona, number 1, Nina Magilani. A freshman middle blocker from Scarsdale, New York, number 4, Madison Mullen. A sophomore middle blocker from Seymour, Connecticut, number 6, Alex Overcan. A freshman center from Laverne, California, number 10, Adrian Zhao. A sophomore outside hitter from Gilbert, Arizona, number 12, Jade Morilla. A junior outside hitter from Tucson, Arizona, number 14, Haley Wagaman. And at libero, a freshman from San Juan, Puerto Rico, number 5, Lisbeth Martinez. John James Post, Ryan Austin Bowes, he's assisted by Kevin Barron and Kevin Wanderstein. And now, here's the starting lineup for your Redhawks. A freshman center from Snohomish, Washington, number 3, Lucy Cornelius. A sophomore outside hitter defensive specialist from Sewell, New
And we are live from the Panzer Athletic Center on the campus of Montclair State University for your edition here of Montclair State Athletics right here on the Red Hawk Sports Network. I am Justin Randell alongside the one and only Tyler Copen as we are getting set for an out-of-conference matchup between the John Jay Bloodhounds and the Montclair State University Red Hawks. And Tyler, these are two powerhouse teams that have a lot of high expectations as the season comes to a close very soon.
Absolutely. Montclair having one of their best seasons so far, coming in at 23-4. But John Jay also 18-3 on the season. So they're having a great season as well. And these teams, they've played some common opponents. NJCU was the only one that was different. Montclair beat NJCU in 3 sets. John Jay lost to NJCU in straight sets. But other than that, both beat Ramapo, beat Rutgers Newark, beat Hunter College. So this should be a great matchup that we have here tonight.
And you mentioned it that John Jay, of course, being an out-of-conference opponent, they've taken on 3 teams in the NJAC, and I think we talked about it a little bit off air, how John Jay is 2-1 versus the 3 teams that you mentioned as well. So they've had their fair share of success against NJAC opponents, and we'll see if John Jay has another victory up their sleeve against another NJAC opponent.
Absolutely. It'll be a fun one tonight, and who would I rather be with than you, the one and only Justin Randell.
You're too kind, Tyler. I appreciate it. As we get ready for the first serve, it'll be Lucy Cornelius getting ready to serve it in for the Red Hawks. As she does, it's played nicely by Wagaman over and across. Getting it through is Arava, and it's played out again. DeProfio with it, and she gets the kill. Sophia DeProfio starting off strong, and the Red Hawks lead 1-0.
DeProfio is going to have a big game here today because we know that Jaden Orava on the John Jay side, she is very strong with those kills and blocks, and DeProfio going to be on the opposite side of her trying to get those blocks against her.
And another good serve from Cornelius as Haley Wagaman was unable to play cleanly, and it's 2-0 Red Hawks early.
Cornelius mostly known for her setting, but doing the serving here early on in the first set.
Sends it over, played by the libero Martinez, and a nice dig by Hatcher, gets it over, and the Red Hawks set up with it. Cornelius gets it over to Batista, and over the net it goes. And a little bit of miscommunication by Martinez as it falls in front of her, and it's now 3-0 Red Hawks. So a very strong start for Montclair State, getting 3 early points against a tough Bloodhounds team.
Yeah, Martinez got a nice dig there, but a little miscommunication from the John Jay side gave Montclair their 3rd point of the first set.
Shao gets it over, and a nice spike there, and a kill from Madison Mullen, who has 150 kills, Tyler, coming into this game, and that's how John Jay gets their 1st point.
Yeah, she's going to be a key factor behind Jaden Orava because Orava, we know how good she is, but it's going to be how well Mullen can produce.
And right on cue, Mullen is the one to take the serve, and she gets an ace. So back-to-back points for the Bloodhounds, and just like that, they cut the deficit to 1. As Mullen again will be on the serve. Trying to dig it out as Muse, and she does. Gets it over to Hatcher, who plays it over the net. Set up by Shao. Putting it over the net is Overcam. Nice play by Muse. Gets it over to Lily Thomas. And it's kept alive again by Mullen. Setting it across. And it's going to be a point awarded to the Red Hawks. Not sure what the call was, but I think it might have been some sort of violation.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be an error on the John Jay side. So Montclair going to get the serve back here.
On the serve is Batista. Shao gets it. And the kill, nicely done for Jaden Arava, as you mentioned, Tyler, at the top, who has been the lead player for the Bloodhounds to this point, 338 kills, and she averages just under 5 kills per set. Shao on the serve. Hatcher digs it out, and DeProfio wasn't ready for it, and another point awarded to the Bloodhounds.
That one kind of nicely placed there by Shao. Hatcher tried to dig it out, but kind of awkwardly hit and went right into the chest of DeProfio, so she wasn't able to play it.
Shao with the serve. Hatcher gets it out. Over the net, Muse taps it over. Dug out by Wagaman. Over and across, and going for the kill was Bon Giovanni, but it was out of bounds, and the Red Hawks will be awarded the point. As now the new server is the libero, Emma Hatcher. And a little bit too far on the serve. And a point goes back to the Bloodhounds. It's now even at 5 apiece as we get some subs in for the Bloodhounds. It'll be Wagaman subbing out, and number 16, Emilia Cascapera, is into the game for John Jay. Muse tried to handle the serve, but could not as it goes out of bounds, and John Jay has their first lead of the first set.
Another miscommunication there. Muse and Bautista kind of got tangled up a little bit, not using their voices, and that's a key thing, especially in this game. You know, John Jay, they are a tough opponent, so you are really going to have to communicate and can't commit silly errors like that one right there.
And again, Cameron Muse had trouble handling that serve attempt from Arava, and that's something you don't see too often, especially from Cameron Muse, who is the sophomore. And Tyler, we've been on multiple calls here in volleyball, and we can't say enough about how important Cameron Muse is to the success of the Redhawks. As right on cue, she goes for the spike, but nice job by Shao to keep the play alive. Muse keeps it up for the Redhawks, taken by Cornelius. Back to Muse, who puts it over the net, and just out of bounds as Muse tried to go for the kill, and another point goes to the Bloodhounds.
That's just good awareness there on the outside by the Bloodhounds, communicating once again, seeing that it was going to go out, and just barely by a couple inches, Muse almost got it there. And then John Jay going to give it right back to Montclair.
And good awareness from Muse, knowing that the ball was going out of bounds on the serve. And so point goes back to the Redhawks as Casey Traska will check into the game, replacing Sophia DeProfio for her first action of the game. And she'll get some action early as she's already becoming the server. Gets it over, Shao with it, over across, Cascapera keeps it alive, Cornelius with it. Back over to Traska, gets it over the net, and trying to keep it up was Martinez, but couldn't get the dig in time, and Montclair State cuts the deficit to 1.
Traska going for the long kill there. It looked like it got blocked initially, but then just kind of fell straight up and fell into no man's land.
And a nice job there from Brianna Craig, who just basically saw the ball come right at her and just tapped it over the net, and there was not one Bloodhound player in the vicinity, and a point goes to the Redhawks.
With that combination of Muse and Craig right at the net, it makes it really hard because they are both so tall. And Randall, that's all you, buddy. There you go.
I'm into the game, I gotta have a little bit of action over here as I'm looking over at my colleague Vincent McCode, who's getting some good footage in this game as well. So good to see you here, pal.
Cool. Shocked you had the hands for that one. That was a little spinner. I wasn't sure if it was going to spin right out.
Well, it's funny you say that, Tyler, because we got to keep talking about it a little bit more. You talked about how I have good hands. Well, if you remember in our intramural football game, Tyler, your boy over here had a touchdown. Just got to put that out there.
Yeah, you did. You did have a touchdown.
As Cameron Muse goes for the serve, nice job there by Cascapera. Martinez with it, has to play it over on the third attempt, and she does. Traska keeps it alive to Cornelius, over to Craig, and she gets the kill. Nicely done from the Redhawks as Martinez had no chance to keep that one alive.
That's a great job there by Brianna Craig. I mean, using her strength to her advantage, just so much power behind that kill, and then John Jay not able to return it.
Muse on the serve. Keeping it alive, Cascapera gets it right back, goes for the kill. Nice job by Cornelius, keeping it alive. Hatcher digs it out, gets it over now to Batista, who gets the kill. And the Redhawks going on a little bit of a run here, Tyler.
Yes, they are. 12-9 in this first set, and 4 straight points for the Redhawks. So, like you said, making a little run for their money.
Traska with it, over to Cornelius, and now Batista. Keeping it alive by Martinez, right back to Batista. Cornelius sets it up for Craig, and she gets it over the net, and a point awarded to the Redhawks, and that is now 4 straight points for Montclair State.
Bon Giovanni not able to handle that one from Craig, just kind of tipped it over, and then looked like Bon Giovanni might have jumped a little early.
As Muse was not able to get that serve over, and a free point awarded to the Bloodhounds, and they are now in the double-digit column. As it looks like we are going to get a sub in for John Jay. Bon Giovanni comes off. And into the game is number 8, Teresa Schmidt, for her first action. Traska keeps it alive. Good job by Cornelius keeping it. Hatcher gets it over. Set up by Schmidt. Shao with it. And a nice try there by Hatcher, trying to keep it alive on the dig, but better awareness there from Madison Mullen.
That was a wonderful job there, and I mean, Montclair Cornelius wasn't able to handle that one. Hatcher, like you said, great attempt on the dig there, but just right into the net and kind of fell into no man's land.
Schmidt on the serve. Traska gets it up. Over to Batista, goes for the kill, and that's exactly what she'll get. 14-11, the Redhawks, as Adrienne Shao tried to keep that play alive as more subs come in. Hatcher and Craig will sub out. And it looks like Hayden Newhouse is into the game, along with Lily Thomas. Over the net it goes. Nice job by Newhouse keeping it alive. Back over to Thomas. Muse keeps it alive. Cornelius over to Batista. Gets it over the net. Martinez keeps it alive. Shao comes over to get it. Cascapera digged out nicely by Traska and over the net. And Montclair State gets the point to go. And Tyler, that was by far the best point that we have seen here in the first set.
It was the best and a very unlikely block there coming from Lucy Cornelius on the shorter side, standing at 5'8". She's usually the setter, but she got up for that one.
You can see she was laughing after the play as well, because that's a rare sighting for her. Shao over to Cascapera, blocked at the net by Cornelius, but looked like there was a net violation by Cornelius, and the point goes to the Bloodhounds as a quick breather, it looks like, for Brianna Craig, as she comes right in and replaces Hayden Newhouse. Or excuse me, Hayden Newhouse and Craig come off. Emma Hatcher is back in very quickly. As looks like there's a little bit of a stoppage here. I'm not sure what the stoppage was for, but it looks like Elizabeth Martinez subbed out.
Looked like she might have tweaked something, so I'm going to get the trainer to go look at that.
So in her replacement, it'll be Alex Overcamp back in. Wagaman will be the server. Muse keeps it alive, over to Cornelius. Tipped over by Craig, and nicely done from Brianna Craig, finding the open spot and just softly dumping it into the open area.
Yeah, that was a great awareness there by number 14, Lily Thomas.
Excuse me, Lily Thomas.
And just kind of the veteran leadership there, being a senior, just tipping it right over the net and noticing there's an empty spot there, able to get the point for her team.
Shao with it. Getting it over the net. Nice job by Muse, keeping it alive to Cornelius. And now Batista sends it over. Kept alive by Overcamp. Wagaman across, going for the kill. And the point's going to be awarded to the Redhawks, and I think that's because DeProfio got to the net in time. And no, actually, they're going to change the call. Hold on. And Coach Stawinski is questioning the call to see what that was about. I don't know, Tyler. What did you see on that play?
Looked like initially the ref on our near side to our right thought that it was a net violation against the Redhawks, but it looked like Coach Stawinski is trying to make the argument that the ball pushed the net into the arms of DeProfio. So we are going to get a quick conference between the referees and the line judge. If you folks at home would like to try to be the referee yourself and make the call, you can rewind to the point where the play went on. But from our standpoint, I think that the ball did go into the net and then hit the hand of DeProfio. So I believe that this is going to be a point for the Redhawks. But about to get confirmation on the call. We'll see what it is.
The referees are still discussing it with the board operators on the opposite side of the court. And the point is going to end up being awarded to John Jay. Mullen will serve it. Muse with it, gets it over to Batista, goes for the kill, and she gets it. Nicely done from Batista, as that is now her 4th kill of the game. Batista now will serve it. Wagaman over to Shao. And across to Arava, goes for the kill, and a nice job by Hatcher to keep it alive. Gets it over to Batista. Dug out by Schmidt. Shao over and across, and a nice job again by Cornelius. Hatcher over to DeProfio. Tries to go for the kill, but had a little bit too much power on it, and a point goes to the Bloodhounds.
Profio just a little too strong on that one. Had the opportunity to stay in just by about 2 feet. That one went out.
Schmidt subs out, and back in is Bon Giovanni, so everything seems to be okay with her after she came out for a brief moment. DeProfio goes for the kill, and she gets it.
That one tipped around on the block a little bit and then just kind of rode the way of the net on the John Jay side. So Montclair getting back into the groove now.
Brianna Craig subs in for Lily Thomas. Hatcher on the serve. Wagaman over to Shao. Over now to Bon Giovanni, kept alive by Muse. Cornelius back over to Muse. Tries to go for the kill. It's kept alive by Hatcher, but another violation will go against the Redhawks, and John Jay now makes it 18-15.
Couldn't quite tell what the call was there. Maybe another net violation against the Redhawks, but some silly errors right now from Montclair are giving John Jay a lot of opportunities.
Arava on the serve to Muse, over now to Craig. Keeping it alive is Cornelius, back to Craig, and softly tips it over the net for another point for the Redhawks. And so, Tyler, we saw Lily Thomas do it before where she tipped it over into the open spot, and now her tag team partner, Brianna Craig, does the exact same.
That's great awareness, just getting it over that first line of blockers right at the net, then seeing that open spot in the court, and then just getting it able to fall. It's so nice when a plan just all comes together.
Hatcher to Cornelius, back over to Craig, and she gets the kill. So back-to-back points from Brianna Craig, puts Montclair State up by 5, and a nice job from Craig since checking in just moments ago. And now, Tyler, we get our first timeout of the game called by the Bloodhounds, and I just want to get your thoughts on how this first set has gone so far.
I mean, it's really kind of been back and forth so far. We've seen both teams go on some runs, but Montclair kind of taking it away in these past couple points. Let's see if they can finish out this first set. They're up 20-15, 5 points away from set point. So I've seen a lot of good things from both sides, but I feel like I've seen more errors from the Montclair side. They're at 4 total errors right now, which doesn't seem like a lot, but the way that they're playing doesn't seem as clean as they usually are.
And also, on top of that, aside from the errors, Montclair State has won the battle of the kills so far. They've had 13 to this point compared to John Jay's 5. So that's obviously been a big part into their success here in this first set. So we'll have to see exactly how John Jay does coming out of the timeout here. Redhawks are only 5 points away from winning set number 1, and John Jay has a little bit of work to do to get themselves back into this set.
Yeah, they're going to have to go on a run here, and we know that Montclair can very very easily take control of matches just by winning the first set.
Traska on the serve. Cascapera keeps it alive, gets it right back, puts it over the net. Traska gets there. Cornelius sets it up for Muse, tries to go for the spike, and Mullen keeps it alive. Shao to Cascapera, kept alive by Muse. Cornelius back over to Batista, kept alive again by Mullen. Muse puts it over, set up again by John Jay, keeping it alive, and a good effort attempt from Cascapera as she just sprawled absolutely all over the court there to keep that play alive, and a point goes to the Redhawks.
A very good volley that we had right there, all over the place. Body's fine. You love to see it for the sake of competition, but just thankful that no one got hurt diving on the court.
As we play on, Shao sets it up. Cascapera gets it over to Traska. Cornelius with a nice play there, just fooling the John Jay players, where she didn't even go for the set, Tyler. She just put it over the net on the second attempt, and Montclair State now is seeming to run away with the first set. And a service ace by Traska makes it 23-15 Redhawks. Traska again on the serve. Cascapera over to Shao. And across to Bongiovanni. And she just gets it in the back right corner of the court. And John Jay tries to trim the deficit now to 7.
Yeah, trying to just get a little bit back here, Montclair. 2 points to winning this set, so we'll see if John Jay can make pretty much a miraculous comeback.
Overcamp gets it over. Muse goes for the kill, gets it over the net once again. Shao with it to Cascapera. Hatcher able to get there. Now to Cornelius, over to Craig, and a nice block at the net. It was hard to tell because the referee was in the way, but it might have been Madison Mullen who was able to knock it down and get the point.
Yeah, so John Jay making the start of what could be a run and could give them a little momentum. And even if they don't win this first set, it could lead them and give them a little bit of mojo going into the second set.
Shao keeps it alive. Arava over the net to Hatcher. Cornelius back over to Muse, and she gets the kill. And now it is set point for the Redhawks at 24-17, and Cameron Muse will be the one to serve it. And it's going to be an ace for Cameron Muse, and that is how the first set comes to the close as the Redhawks take it and lead it 1-0.
Great set all around by Montclair. A couple errors early on, but fixed up in the back half. And in matches that they have won the first set, they are 23-1. So every match that they have won the first set. There has only been one game where they have lost after winning the first set, and that game was against NYU on September 13th. So since that, they have won 17 straight after winning the first set.
Yeah. So the numbers do seem to be in favor for the Redhawks when they do take the first set in a volleyball match. But a lot of stuff needs to change here for the Bloodhounds because, as you mentioned, Tyler, it just seemed as though Montclair State pretty much ran away with that first set, even though the score seemed to be closer than it really seemed.
Yeah, it really did, and it was all about the kills. 16 total kills in that first set. 4 coming from Bautista, 4 coming from Craig, 2 from Muse, 2 from Lucy Cornelius, the very unlikely setter, getting in the kill action, and then 1 coming from Lily Thomas, 1 from Casey Traska, 2 from Sophia DeProfrio. So an all-around effort from Montclair. No one really standing out on the stat sheet. So it's really a full team effort coming from the Redhawks right now.
And that's why they are doing so well to this point. I mean, they're 23-4, and it's not just about one player for this team, as you talked about, Tyler. This is a team effort. You're starting to see how the players on the court are spreading the wealth, where the kills are not just ran by one person. It's just a common back and forth between multiple teammates, and that's why there's so much success.
Yeah, I mean, it's just great to see all-around efforts, and that's what Coach Stawinski really preaches. There's no I in team, and as much as a cliche saying it is, it can't be any more true. Team sports come from team efforts, and the way that this Montclair team is able to rally together, and especially in a sport like volleyball where you need to rely on your players, you need to know that the person to your right and the person to your left have your back, and they're going to be there for you at all times, on the court, off the court, whatever you need. And it's great to see that on the court right now, the selflessness of all these players, where they're not worried about the stats that show up in their personal bio. They're worried about the team stats and what the team stat sheet is going to read after the game and what the team record is going to read.
Yep, that's exactly right. It is a full-on team effort. Coach Stawinski, you talked about it. He preaches it so many times, and there's a reason why the record backs up everything that we just talked about with this team. They have just been so great to this point. And, you know, we didn't really even get to mention it because obviously this is here at Panzer Athletic Center. The Redhawks, for women's volleyball, they're 13-0 to this point here on their home court. So, obviously the numbers don't lie. And the Redhawks fans, you know, they come out here and support this team night in and night out. And it just seems as though that they keep putting on an absolute show for the fans.
Absolutely, and hopefully continues here at the Panzer Athletic Center throughout the NJAC tournament. Right now, Montclair is the 3 seed, so if it stays that way, they would host the first quarterfinal game. Then it would depend on what happens after that. But if they get that 1 seed, then not only does NJAC soccer run through Montclair, NJAC volleyball would also.
As we get set number 2 underway, and Wagaman started it by serving, but she served it out of bounds, and Montclair State gets the 1-0 advantage to start. It'll be Cornelius on the serve for Montclair State. And she serves it into the net, so on the first 2 points of the second set, it's come on miscues from both sides.
Yeah, 2 service errors right off the bat, and Coach Stawinski knows that you win that first set, you have a lot of momentum. Service errors not the way that you want to start.
Cornelius sets it up nicely, and Lily Thomas puts it over the net on a deflection, and the Redhawks are awarded the point.
Service error isn't the way you want to start. That way is. Just a strong power from Lily Thomas. It's very hard to defend that.
On the serve was Batista, getting it across. Arava keeps it alive for Shao. Across now, and serving it over the net was Overcamp, and the point will go to John Jay.
So it looks like there might have been another net violation there. That one coming from Sophia DeProfio. Just getting a little too close to the net for the ref's comfort.
Shao on the serve. Kept alive by Muse. Cornelius over to Thomas, and it's blocked nicely. It looked like it was Arava in there on the block on the shot there from Lily Thomas, and John Jay jumps in front 3-2. Shao sends it over. Hatcher to Cornelius. Across now to Muse, and it's blocked, but it was blocked out of bounds by Bongiovanni. And Cameron Muse gets the point. It's now 3-all.
It's another very difficult player to try and defend. Cameron Muse, just like Lily Thomas and Brianna Craig, such strong arms when they go for those kill attempts.
Hatcher on the serve. Setting it up, Arava. Over to Batista. Keeps it alive, Cornelius. Over to Thomas. Kept alive again by Batista. Muse sends it over. Wagaman to Shao. Across to Arava. Kept alive. Bongiovanni sends it over, and nicely done from Bongiovanni, finding the open spot on the back left corner of the court where no Redhawks were in sight, and John Jay leads 4-3. And Tyler, so far here in the second set, John Jay's come out with a lot more energy than we saw in the first set.
Yeah, they're playing pretty even with Montclair right now, and I mean that's how it was the way of the first set too. And in the second half of that first set, Montclair kind of ran away with it, but John Jay really starting to find their groove now.
As that's back-to-back points for them, it's now 5-3. Arava will be the server. It was the main focal point to this Bloodhounds team. 338 kills coming into today's match. Sending it over is to Profio, and she gets the point. Nicely done, and it's now 5-4. John Jay.
Profio getting her 3rd kill of this evening. And she's going to have to be a little more efficient with the way she's playing. She's had a couple errors so far. Gets the kill there to boost her morale a little bit. She's got a smile on her face, so hopefully she can really dig in and not commit any more errors.
At that point, we'll go back to John Jay. Nice job from Cascapera going for the kill, but Montclair State blocked it out of bounds. Schmidt will serve. Set up by Traska, over to Cornelius, and now Batista. Blocked down by Mullen, kept alive by Cornelius. Batista sends it over. Arava to Shao, back to Mullen, and she puts it home on the kill. Madison Mullen now with her 3rd kill, and it's now 7-4 John Jay.
Strong play there from Mullen. Just using that arm and blowing it by the Montclair defense.
Cornelius sets it up for Muse, and it's blocked by Cornelius at the net, and was able to keep it inbounds as well. And John Jay has built up a 4-point advantage early on in set number 2. Schmidt serves. Traska to Hatcher. Over to Muse, tips it over and keeps it in for the point. And big-time players, Tyler, make big-time plays to stop the bleeding a little bit, as now Montclair State gets a point back to cut it to 3.
Smart play by Cameron Muse there. Just going with the little tip that time rather than going for the strong kill.
Cascapera to Mullen. Hatcher keeps it alive. Setting it up now, it's Batista with the kill. And back-to-back points for the Redhawks. It's 8-6.
Montclair finding their groove now in this second half a little bit. Let's see if Muse can get on a roll.
Muse serves it over. Arava to Shao. Over to Mullen, tips it over the net, and Traska tried to dig it out, but it was perfectly placed for Mullen, and John Jay gets the point right back.
Another smart play by Mullen there, just going with the little tip drill, finding the perfect spot on the court.
Bongiovanni on the serve. Muse keeps it alive. Cornelius to Trasco, sends it over. Bongiovanni was not able to keep it alive by Shao, and Batista was able to tip it over and get the point back for the Redhawks, as Emma Hatcher will sub out. Lily Thomas is in, and also Hayden Newhouse will replace Brianna Craig. Newhouse will serve. Cascapera to Shao. Back over Cascapera, and it's blocked nicely by Lily Thomas, who keeps it in bounds, and Montclair State gets the point.
Lily Thomas getting up there, using their strong hands again. Her and Cornelius getting up above the net, and then preventing John Jay from getting any points.
And Newhouse with a service error. And John Jay is the first team to double figures here in set number 2.
Already Montclair's third error of this second set, so they're going to have to clean those up a little bit.
Lily Thomas and Newhouse checked out as Emma Hatcher came into the game to replace. Wagaman on the serve. Set up by Muse to Cornelius. Over to Batista, and she gets the kill. A nice set play from the Redhawks, where at first it looked like, Tyler, Lily Thomas was going to be the one to try to get the kill, but she let it go to Batista, and she got the kill instead.
Batista second on the team in kills, 265 coming into this match. So we know she has a strong arm, and she's not afraid to send it out. And then a miss hit there from Mullen. That's going to knot this set up at 10.
As Mullen made the error there when she tried to send it over to the Redhawks, and it's all even at 10 apiece. Cornelius on the serve. Shao with it. Over to Arava, and it was knocked down, but out of bounds. Point goes to John Jay, so good work from Arava as another substitution comes in. Schmidt subs out, and Overcamp is back in for the Bloodhounds. Mullen on the serve. Hatcher over to Cornelius. Batista again finds that open spot in the middle of the court. And another point for the Redhawks. And it just seems as though the Redhawks right now, Tyler, are feasting on finding the open spots in the middle of the court.
They're just able to have great court vision and pick the right play, whether it's to go with the strong kill or just tip it over. They're making the smart play right now.
That one goes out of bounds. It was tipped, and the point goes to the Redhawks, which I believe this is their first lead of the second set, if I'm not mistaken. Wagaman keeps it alive to Shao. Over now to Arava. Goes for the kill, and nice job from Batista to let it go out of bounds. Another point for Montclair State.
Looked like the serve was going to go out there initially, but Wagaman played it and kept it in, and might have been a mistake. Setting up now.
It was Schmidt. Over and across. It goes to Muse. Schmidt keeps it alive. Dug out nicely again by Wagaman. Arava gets it over. Set up now to Thomas, and she's able to get it to go. But give a lot of credit to Wagaman to even keep the play alive for John Jay, and then she tried to make another hustle play to keep it alive on Thomas's effort, but couldn't in the end. Wagaman sets it up to Shao. Getting it over is Arava. Hatcher digs it out. Thomas goes for the kill, but it goes out of bounds, and a point for the Bloodhounds.
Montclair got a little bit of a groove there from the serving of Bren Bautista, but John Jay, let's see if they can fight back now.
Shao serves it. And it was a misplay there between Muse and DeProfio, and another point goes to John Jay. It's now 14-13 Redhawks.
That one was a little awkwardly played by Muse. DeProfio wasn't ready for that one, and she thought Cornelius was going to take it.
Shao serves it over. Thomas gets it over now. Bongiovanni to Shao. Across to Arava. Goes for the kill, and it was too hot to handle for Cornelius, and John Jay evens it up at 14 aside.
Arava, the team leader in kills for the Bloodhounds with 3:38 coming into this game. We know she has a strong arm.
Shao on another serve. Hatcher tries to keep it alive, and it's going to be a violation going against the Redhawks. And John Jay has strung together a couple of points in a row for them. They now lead it 15-14.
Montclair falling apart in the past couple points, letting John Jay back into this set.
Muse keeps it alive to Cornelius, to DeProfio, over to Wagaman, and now Shao sets it up. Bongiovanni gets stopped at the net, kept alive again. Arava tries to play it over, she does. Hatcher to Cornelius, across to DeProfio, gets the kill. Sophia DeProfio earns her 4th kill of the game.
Nice strong kill from DeProfio there, kind of going almost horizontally on that one across the net, but able to get it fall in the perfect corner.
Arava sends it over. Batista keeps it alive. Back over to Muse, and it's going to be out of bounds. Last touch by Muse, and a point goes back to the Bloodhounds. They lead 16-15 as Wagaman gets a much-deserved breather. And back into the game, Cascapera for John Jay.
Nice little tip there from Muse, just went out of play. And that, I think that was a smart play from Muse, but just a little out of bounds. And then John Jay going to get their 2nd straight point on an ace, and Coach Stawinski forced to use his first time out of this set.
This is a good timeout from Coach Stawinski, trailing by 2. Still plenty of time to go, obviously, here in the 2nd set, where John Jay leads it 17-15. But this is the first time in this match, Tyler, where we've seen a little bit of adversity by the Redhawks. So what do you think Coach Stawinski is telling his team in the huddle right now?
I think he's telling them that they just have to clean up the little things right now. There's a couple errors that they have made that can easily be fixable. 9 errors so far in this match. 5 of them have come so far in this 2nd set, so those are the easy things that you can fix. And I think Coach Stawinski is just preaching to them, just make the smart play. Just play fundamental volleyball right now. Don't try to do anything too fancy. There's no need to. Just try to make the smart play, catch them off guard if you can, and just play your style of volleyball, a full team effort.
To your point, I think a lot of it, and you talked about the service errors, it really is about that, because there were a lot of times, especially in the early points of the 2nd set, where both Montclair State and John Jay had a lot of service mistakes where they would just hit it into the net and give the other team a free point. So, you look back at those, especially early on in a set, they mean a lot, because when you come later on in a set, you look back at those points and, you really wish that you limited those mistakes. To come out of the timeout, Arava will serve. Muse gets it. Cornelius over to Thomas, or excuse me, Craig rather. Kept alive. Taken by Shao. Over now to Bongiovanni. Set up by Craig. Across it goes to Muse. Goes for the kill. Kept alive by Arava. She'll have time to serve it over, and she does. Hatcher settles it down. Cornelius to Craig. Tips it over. And the point goes to the Redhawks. But that is exactly what you want to see from these two teams who have come in with great records. You want to see that battle of volleys, Tyler.
That was a great volley right there between the two squads, and just back and forth. Arava with a great save there. And then Montclair just able to finish it out.
Traska keeps it alive. Sending it over is Cornelius, dug out by Arava. Kept alive, Hatcher. Sends it over to Muse, tips it over, kept alive by Shao. Traska with it. Kept alive again. Muse gets it over to... It's Overcamp setting it up to Bongiovanni. Tips it over. Hatcher keeps it alive. And now Muse She sends it over. Arava to Shao. Over and across, and out of bounds it goes. Last touch by Cascapera, and now Tyler, that is back-to-back volleys where both of these teams are just going back and forth.
That's just a great showcase of volleyball right there. Two squads just really going at it. And like you said, back and forth, and then the ace there from Traska. That is huge for Montclair and huge for their momentum in this second set.
As that is the 6th ace for the Redhawks in this match. Shao keeps it alive. Spiking it into the net there was Overcamp, and another point to the Redhawks. And now, Tyler, out of the timeout, they have had 4 straight points.
They really have, and they're really coming to find themselves right now. And whatever Coach Stawinski said in that timeout, I would like to know, and maybe he can help me motivate me for the next intramural football game.
I know, right? We what is it? We got I think we got a playoff game on what is it, Monday night? So that'll be interesting. Maybe Stawinski could give us some pointers.
Yeah.
As the serve by Schmidt, played up by Cornelius, across to Craig. Trying to keep it alive as Cornelius. They do, but in the end, the point will be awarded to John Jay. And now it is all even at 19 aside. And it looks as though, Tyler, this might come down to the very last point here where these two teams are going back and forth late in the second set.
This set really coming down to the wire. It's just who wants it more right now.
Schmidt with it. Sets it up. Cascapera over to Muse, who keeps it alive. Cornelius to Batista. And the block at the net from Madison Mullen puts John Jay back in front by 1.
It's hard to get it past her when she's standing at 6'1", right in front of that net. Her reach alone just goes pretty much nearly her entire forearm is over the net.
As Schmidt gets the ace, and John Jay now leads it by 2. It's 21-19.
John Jay feels like they're running away with this second set.
Schmidt will serve again. Traska sets it up, kept alive. Mullen kept alive again by Batista, set up for Traska, gets it over. Cascapera to Shao, back to Cascapera. Tries to keep it alive, and a violation will go against Cascapera. Point awarded to the Redhawks.
Looks like she might have hit it 2 times in a row, so Montclair going to get the point now, and that's big for them because John Jay had a lot of momentum before that point.
Muse will serve. Arava to Shao. Cascapera kept alive by Muse. Cornelius to Batista for the spike, kept alive. Arava gets it right back. She goes for the kill, and she gets it to go. Big point for John Jay, and they are now 3 away from trying to even up this match.
Huge point for them because Montclair had some momentum building up, but Arava just using her strength to her advantage, able to fit it right in.
Traska keeps it alive. Craig goes for the kill, kept alive by Schmidt. Arava, Cascapera, and she gets it to go. And now it starts to seem like the wheels are falling off for the Redhawks late here in the second set, as right now they're just not aware of where the ball is landing on their side of the court.
Yeah, 2 straight miscommunications there. Looked like it was going out, but ended up staying in, so Montclair has to tighten things up.
Muse keeps it alive. Over to Batista, and nobody was going to get it, as a nice kill from Bryn Batista cuts the deficit to 2, as Hatcher will sub out. Brianna Craig as well. Hayden Newhouse is in, as well as Lily Thomas. Newhouse will serve. Cascapera keeps it alive to Shao. Back to Cascapera. Kept alive by Batista. Batista tries to go for the kill, and it looked like it might have been deflected. I don't think it was in bounds, but Montclair State gets the point. It's now 23-22.
Montclair making a little bit of a comeback here.
This is a huge point here, Tyler. Newhouse with the serve, kept alive. Shao gets it over, and beautifully placed from Mullen, where not one Redhawk was in sight, and she was just able to keep it in bounds. John Jay now has set point.
Yeah, this is a big one for John Jay. If they can finish out this set, it'd be huge for them. But if Montclair can make a comeback, that would be great.
Wagaman will serve here for set point. And good job from Traska letting it go out of bounds. Point goes to the Redhawks. And Tyler, this is obviously a must-get point for the Redhawks if they want to keep this set alive and make it a win-by-2 situation.
John Jay still hanging on to that set point, so we'll see what Montclair can do right here.
Arava to Shao, back to Arava, and it's going to be a violation. It's going to go against John Jay, and it's all squared up as 24 aside. And Tyler, it now becomes a win-by-2 scenario. Schmidt with it. Shao to Mullen, and she gets the kill. Oh, I think are they changing the call?
It looks like John Jay was trying to argue that that one was touched, but Montclair got the point. Kind of hard to tell from our vantage point. So Coach...
Looks like Coach Voges is, he had a lengthy conversation, but the point's going to stand for the Redhawks, and now they have earned set point.
We'll see what they can do here, if they can take advantage.
Cornelius will serve. Schmidt with it to Shao. To Arava, kept alive by Hatcher. Wagaman to Shao. Back over to Mullen, kept alive by Batista. Set up now. Craig tries to keep it alive. Set up again. Hatcher over to Batista. Goes for the kill, and it's in bounds. Montclair State takes set number 2, and they have a 2-0 advantage.
That one was a huge set for Montclair, coming back down from 23 to 20 in that second set, all the way to win that set by 2, 26 to 24. That is just great resilience from the Redhawks. They're down, but they're not out. That's the mindset that they were playing with. They knew that they could win that set the entire way, no matter how much they were down by. So now, we've said it in past games, there is such a distinct difference between going down 2-0 and, or excuse me, between winning that second set and losing that second set. Montclair, after winning the first set, winning that second set, they go up 2-0. So now they are just one set win away from taking this match.
And you got to give a lot of credit, especially on that last point, because Arava had an opportunity to get the kill to even it up at 25. But right there, Emma Hatcher was able to keep it alive with the bump. Yeah, I guess that's what you would say is a bump, where that's where her hands were positioned, and she was able to keep the play alive. And from that point on, John Jay didn't really have a response to try to get the kill. And in the end, Batista got the kill for the Redhawks and earned them the set number 2 win. So again, that's a big turning point, Tyler. You mentioned it. It's a big difference of going down 2-0 versus making it 1-1 heading into set 3. So right now, Montclair State is in the driver's seat in this match, only needing one set out of the last 3 possible sets that could be played here. As we're in a timeout right now, both teams huddling up. As you can kind of see, Montclair State kind of huddled up in that back corner, just talking things over. Coach Stawinski, obviously we know he is very vocal with his players, wants to make sure that they're all locked in and focused on the task at hand, and it seems as though that they are.
Absolutely. They have been all over the place today, and one player that we say every match, a name that everyone hears constantly, is Cameron Muse. 4 kills on the day so far, and then just going back to her freshman year, how dominant she was. All-American honorable mention, Region 4 Freshman of the Year, NJAC Rookie of the Year. She was first team All-NJAC. I mean, she has such a repertoire, and it feels like that her sophomore campaign has been even better than her freshman year.
She has just been unbelievable to this point. Obviously someone Coach Stawinski relies on, and obviously only her being a sophomore, she's really taken on that leadership role. Obviously when you're a sophomore, you're not really thinking about becoming a leader that early on in your collegiate career, but the fact that to this point, she has been, this good of a player. Obviously she's going to get that leadership recognition to this point.
Absolutely, and she plays almost more as a veteran.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem like it's only her second year. It seems like she is a veteran, and it's her senior year or even her 5th year. That's how good of a player she is, and already through with still not counting this game with 4 games left, and then also the NJAC tournament, and if they are able to make the NCAA tournament, she has 316 kills this season compared to her 360 last year, so she's going to surpass that number with ease.
It's just remarkable numbers to this point. And, as more time goes on, she's only going to get better. So the fact that she's doing this now in her sophomore campaign, I mean, again, you technically have at least 3 more years of eligibility. You got your junior year, your senior year, and possibly a 5th year if she ends up coming back to play there. So, I mean, with these numbers, not even from 2 seasons, it's going to be so historic when it's all said and done at this record pace.
It really is, and in years' time, we're going to be doing packages on her and stuff like that, and she's just a great player, and it's amazing that when we are here, we get to see such a great young player like this, and I mean all sports around. Alex Buchwald for football, first game of the season, school record in tackles for loss with 6. I mean, unbelievable. So many accolades at this school this year so far, and we're only through fall sports. Winter sports haven't even started yet. It's just unbelievable to see, and it's such great for the Montclair Athletics program to have such great players. And it just shows what great athletes, what great coaches, what a great school that Montclair State is.
That's exactly right, Tyler. Set number 3 underway. Montclair State leading 2-0. Mullen will earn the first point of the 3rd set for the Bloodhounds.
Nice tip there from Mullen. She kind of wants to get her get back after she thought that the ball was tipped on her initial kill attempt to get to set point in that 2nd set.
Kept alive, and a vicious kill by Sophia DeProfio. Knocks it up at 1 aside, and I mean, we've seen a lot of kills from DeProfio, Tyler. Not even just today, but in general. But that one was vicious.
Vicious is the perfect word for that one right there. Just so strong, sending it right through. Just gave John Jay no attempt or no chance at all to return that one.
As Shao sets it up nicely for Overcamp, who just softly lays it into the back part of the court. John Jay leads it 2-1. Shao will be the server. Gets it over. Kept alive by Muse. She'll get it right back. Goes for the kill. Kept alive by Wagaman. Cornelius with it to Hatcher. Back over to Muse. Goes for yet another kill, and Wagaman says no. Kept alive. Arava sends it over, and another job there by Batista. At the net, it's Thomas. Kept alive, and finally the point is awarded to the Redhawks.
Oh, what a great volley there. I mean, both squads. The fact that Batista was able to send back that kill attempt from Orava, that one, this is the word you said before, vicious.
Yeah.
These are 2 very vicious teams when it comes to kill attempts and how strong they are.
The libero Hatcher will be serving. Sends it over. Wagaman to Shao. Across to Arava. Tips it over. Dug out nicely by Hatcher. Sets up now to DeProfio, and Wagaman keeps it up. Shao back over to Arava, who spikes it, going cross corner for yet another kill. And for her, that is now kill number 8, which leads her team.
Arava very strong. And now going in on the serve. I mean, at all aspects, she has been all over the place with serving, being able to get those kills on the board, and then also on the blocking side.
And fresh off getting the kill, Arava will serve. dug out by Batista, setting up for Craig, who once again just softly tips it over to the middle of the court, and we have seen it on multiple occasions with Brianna Craig and especially Lily Thomas, who have just become absolute masters at doing it.
Yeah, both of them using the soft hands. They'll let Muse and DeProfio be the vicious ones. They're going to use their little soft hands and soft tips to try and send it over.
Mastraska had the service error. Point awarded to John Jay, and so far it's just back and forth action of points being distributed by these two teams. Teresa Schmidt will serve. Batista gets it over to Hatcher. Set up for Muse, goes for the kill, kept alive once again by Schmidt. And now it's Arava's turn, but once again kept up. Muse gets it. And in the end, Muse just diving on the floor, unable to keep it going. And another point goes to the Bloodhounds.
Nice volley there, Muse on the kill attempt, and then a nice return there from John Jay. So both of them keeping the pressure going, and the defense has been really good to return these kill attempts.
Hatcher with the dig. And Cornelius able to send it over. But the point is going to go to the Redhawks. There was a lot of confused faces on the side of the Redhawks as they knew for certain that they had that point.
Yeah, that one, a tough one to tell. But the line judge and Arava going to come talk to the referee, going to try to get an explanation here. See what the call is.
It's Jaden Arava having the conversation with the line judge.
So we're going to get a meeting with the referees real quick. But Bryn Bautista leads Montclair right now in kills. She has hit double digits. She's at 11 right now. And then, as you said before, Jaden Arava, 8 kills on the day so far. So both of these squads, they have their players that have really stood out. And Bautista, usually a little bit on the quieter side, but I mean, still second in kills. But I feel like her performance is almost always shadowed by Cameron Muse because of how great she is. But Bautista really stepping it up here in the past couple games, and it's just great to see. Like I said before, all around team efforts, and Bautista kind of getting her fair share of kills today.
Yeah, Batista has definitely stepped up big time for the Redhawks in this highly anticipated matchup with the out-of-conference opponent, the John Jay Bloodhounds. So she's really stepped up to the plate here in tonight's match as the referees conferred with each other that the point will stand with the Redhawks, as head coach of the Bloodhounds, Austin Vogue, still having a conversation on the far end of the court. So there, it's a very lengthy discussion. As we're still awaiting the action to resume.
So looking at Coach Stawinski, I mean, we talked about how great of a coach he is. His record, 254 wins, 163 losses, and that's coming into this year. And I mean, with 23 wins, that puts him at 277, if my math is correct. I don't know if you're a math guy. You seem like a math guy. The glasses make you look like a math guy.
Thanks. I mean, I did take a lot of math classes, back in my early grade days, but nothing too advanced, As we resume action, back-to-back points for the Redhawks out of that break, and make that another point for the Redhawks. That's now 3 straight for Montclair State after trailing 5-3.
Yeah, and 2 straight aces there from Cameron Muse, and Coach Vogue's going to use a timeout here, kind of settle his players down after some discussions with the referees.
Yeah.
So smart timeout here from Coach Voges. Just get his players in the correct mindset.
You have to wonder that with that whole confrontation between Voges and the referees, you got to think that might have taken a little bit of a toll on his players, just kind of making them lose a little bit of focus. So give a lot of credit to head coach Voges for utilizing that timeout to, as you mentioned, Tyler, get their heads straight and focused on the task at hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coach Voges in his fourth season with the squad, 55-30 in his first 3 seasons. And last year, they won their first ever City University of New York Athletic Conference Tournament Championship. And Coach Voges was the SUNYAC Coach of the Year. So just absolutely a great coach all around, and he knows how to use his timeout. Doesn't have the time that Coach Stawinski does, but if he keeps performing like he is this season, 18 wins, 3 losses, he's going to be with John Jay for a long time.
Oh, yeah, that's for certain. He's definitely developed this program so well since becoming the head coach. As another point out of the timeout goes to the Red Hawks, make that 4 straight.
Montclair finding their momentum here, able to get a couple straight points. And they're looking good right now in this third set.
Muse on the serve, dug out by Arava, kept alive. Bongiovanni goes all the way across and somehow was able to keep it in bounds. Even Cameron Muse looked a little bit surprised that the ball stayed in bounds there. So point goes to John Jay.
Good comeback there from John Jay, able to get the point, stop the Montclair run a little bit, get back in this game and try to keep this match going.
And the service error by John Jay. Point goes back to the Red Hawks. Emma Hatcher subs out along with Brianna Craig, and Lily Thomas and Hayden Newhouse will sub in. Newhouse on the serve. Arava keeps it alive. Sent over to Mullen. Now Traska to Cornelius. Across to Batista. Goes for the kill. Kept up by Bongiovanni. Set up for Cascapera. And it's blocked at the net by Cornelius, and the point will still stand with the Red Hawks.
That one kind of a funky one. It looks like Cascapera might have saved that one and dug it out, but hit the floor beforehand. You could see the face of Lily Thomas, kind of confused there, waiting for the ref to finally give that signal.
As Newhouse gets the service error. And it looks as though Brianna Craig will come off along with Newhouse, and right back in is Emma Hatcher. Wagaman will serve. Traska keeps it up to Cornelius. Across to Batista. Goes for the kill. Kept up by Schmidt. Wagaman over to Arava. Kept up again by Muse. Cornelius over to Thomas, who gets blocked at the net. And it looks like it was Madison Mullen with the block. And a point goes to John Jay.
Mullen with her game face, not playing around in this third set.
And Wagaman with the service error. Cameron Muse lets it go out of bounds. Point for Montclair State. They lead it 10-8. Traska subs out. DeProfio right back in.
John Jay can't afford service errors like those right now in order to stay in this match, with Montclair having a lot of momentum.
Cornelius sets it up for DeProfio. Kept up again. It's Arava going for the kill. And it kept it. It stayed in bounds, and a point for John Jay. And for Arava, that is kill number 9. The Stars have come out to play tonight, Tyler.
They really have. And it's been just great play all around. That one stays in, so Montclair is going to get the point. But like you said, the Stars have really come out. Cameron Muse, Bryn Bautista, Jaden Arava, Madison Mullen. I mean, just some great players from both squads really coming out and showing out.
It's Arava going for the kill, and once again she gets it to go, and she is now in the double-figure column in kills tonight for the Bloodhounds.
That is virtually impossible to stop. That had so much power behind it. That's just like going up against Aroldis Chapman back in 2017.
Point will be awarded to John Jay. Once again, they even it up at 11 aside. Kind of similar, Tyler, to how these first two sets started. It's been back and forth midway through each set, and it just seems as though later on one team pulls ahead than the other. Going for the kill was Thomas. It's kept alive. Getting it across. It's Arava. Hatcher keeps it up to Batista. Over to Muse for the kill. Kept up again. Wagaman to Arava. Now Hatcher. And in the end, it's going to be a point for John Jay Overcamp with the kill as Muse was not able to keep it alive.
Yeah, that was a great volley there between the two squads. John Jay getting the lead back in this third set, just hoping to bring it to a fourth.
Shao on the serve. Hatcher with it. Gets it over to Batista. Now Muse tries to find the open area, kept up by Schmidt. Bongiovanni back to Batista. Cornelius to Thomas. Kept up again. Thomas tries it one more time and gets the point. Lily Thomas was able to stick with it, and she would not be denied.
Again, a nice volley there. Lily Thomas, like you said, sticking with the play, noticing that it's coming over to her side, and then just getting it in between the hands of Overcamp and the net, and then kind of left Overcamp no choice but to let it go.
And John Jay gets the point right back. They lead it 13-12. Wagaman subs out. Cascapera back in. Arava will serve. Sends it over. Muse kept up by Cornelius. Back to Muse for the kill. Deflected, and it's going to be a point for the Redhawks. The kill will be awarded to Muse. That will be her fifth.
Yet again, another kill here for Cameron Muse. The all-around player just doing it all right now. And Montclair, not in this one, back up at 13, hoping to win this one in straight sets.
Traska on the serve. Arava back to Cascapera. Kept up by Batista. Cornelius to Muse. And she gets back-to-back kills. Cameron Muse showing why she's a star for this team. Now up to 6 kills.
Just great play by Muse there. Yet again, great players making great plays.
Traska serves it. Shao over to Bongiovanni. Hatcher keeps it up. Back over to Muse. And it's going to be whistled for a point that's going to go in favor of John Jay, and Cameron Muse looked a little bit confused with the result.
Yeah, that one looked like could have been in, but Coach Stawinski kind of telling his team, calm down, no need for any extracurricular stuff right now. And, you know, in his 15th season, maybe he can sense that the ball don't lie mentality, knowing that they would get that point back.
That's exactly what they did, as now for the first time, Sammy Mizak subs into the game for the Redhawks, and she'll get to serve it. Cascapera keeps it up. And a violation will go against John Jay. It's now 16-14 Redhawks. Mizak will serve again. And a little bit too much power on that serve as John Jay gets a much-needed point right back.
Yeah, that's big for John Jay. Mizak and the Redhawks could have gone on a run there, just a little too strong on that one.
Bongiovanni now the new server for the Bloodhounds. Kept up by Mizak, sending it over. Craig for the kill. Mizak keeps it alive. Craig serves it over. Mullen to Shao, back to Mullen. Kept up again by Hatcher. Sending it over is Batista. Kept up again by Arava. To Cascapera, who sends it into the net. And the Redhawks get the point, 17-15.
Couple nice saves there. Hatcher and Craig able to save them from going out. And Montclair looking smooth right now. Hopefully it's smooth sailing for them for the rest of this third set.
Once again, Newhouse and Lily Thomas check into the game. Arava to Shao, back to Mullen, and she gets probably the easiest kill you'll probably see tonight in this match, Tyler.
Yeah, that one, kind of, she just found her open lane and no problem there. Miscommunication between a couple Redhawks, and that one just went out.
Newhouse and Craig sub out. Emma Hatcher right back in. Wagaman will serve. Mizek keeps it alive. Up to Cornelius. Now to Batista, who gets the kill. And so Bryn Batista adds to her team leading now 13th kill of the match as Traska subs out, DeProfio back in.
Yeah, Batista kind of in between the tip drill and the strong kill, but hey, worked out in her favor.
As Schmidt was not able to handle that serve, and a point goes to the Redhawks, and right now they are trying to pull away late in this third set to take home the victory.
Montclair, a lot of momentum on their side right now, and if you're Coach Dewinski, this is exactly the person that you want serving for your squad, Lucy Cornelius, and out there on the court, it shows why.
And right on cue, she got the service ace. Timeout called by John Jay as the Redhawks are now just 5 points away from completing the sweep here in straight sets here at Panzer Athletic Center. But there's still a lot of work to be done, Tyler. 5 points is it's still a lot to ask for, and it's not easy, especially against a tough team.
Absolutely. Coach Zawinski knows that this one is still far from over, and they still have some work to do. So he's preaching that you can't take these final points lightly. This is a great team, and you've seen it. Both sides have been very close with each other in points. Each set has really come down to the final couple points, especially in that second set. We saw Montclair was able to win it 26-24, but John Jay was up 23-20. And then Montclair, just the resilience from them is what Coach Zawinski loves to see, and he loves that his team has that winning mentality, and they're not afraid of going down because they know they can come right back.
As we get set to come out of the timeout, Lucy Cornelius, fresh off of getting the service ace to give Montclair State 20 points. We'll look to try to capitalize on yet another opportunity. Cornelius will serve it. Kept up by Schmidt. Shao able to get it over for the point. And a much-needed point for John Jay to cut the deficit to 3.
A nice little tip there from Zhao. Able to get it to fall right into place. And that's what John Jay needs. Let's see if they can go on a little run here to extend this match.
Mullen will serve. Hatcher keeps it up. Back to Mizak. Plays it over. Wagaman to Shao. Back over to Arava. Blocked by DeProfio. Kept up to Mullen. Back to Arava, who tries again. Hatcher got a piece of it, but no chance for the Redhawks to get to that one. And it's now a 2-point game. And Tyler, you know, we haven't really talked about Arava that much, but they're really going to need her down the stretch here in this third set.
They really are, and that is not what John Jay can afford right now, a service error. That gives Montclair another point and then just puts them in even more of a hole now that Bryn Batista is serving.
Sends it over, and the point will go to the Redhawks on the service ace for Bryn Batista, so she is just adding to her wonderful performance here tonight.
She really is, and it's only fitting for her to be the one that can possibly finish out this match for the Redhawks.
Shao over to Arava for the kill, and that's what she gets. DeProfio got a touch to it, but couldn't keep it on the court.
Arava's not done yet. She's keeping this one going, and the leader of this squad, she's the one that needs to be the one to keep this alive for the Bloodhounds.
Shao on the serve, kept up. It's DeProfio sending it over, kept alive. Shao across to Arava. Good job by Batista keeping it alive. Cornelius to Mizak for the kill, kept up by Schmidt. And a whistle, it's going to go against John Jay, and a point for the Redhawks. And now they are just 2 points away from winning this match.
Yeah, maybe an error there on the John Jay side, so Montclair looking to close this one out.
Hatcher serves. Schmidt to Shao. To Arava. Kept up. Cornelius to Craig. Tips it over. Kept alive by Bongiovanni. Wagaman keeps it up. Over to Cornelius. Back to Craig. Who gets the kill? Brianna Craig, with that, gives her, that is now her 8th kill of the match.
Yeah, now match point for the Redhawks, looking to close it out here in straight sets. Hatcher at the helm right now with the serve. Let's see if she can finish it out.
Here we go. And that's exactly what she does. She ends it with the service ace. And the Montclair State Redhawks are going to come away with the victory over John Jay College, winning 3-0. They now improve to 20 games over 500, 24-4. And for John Jay, they now fall to 18-4. And Tyler, from start to finish, it just seemed as though Montclair State was in complete control.
It really did, and a lot of these sets were closer than they may appear. I mean, the stat sheet shows that Montclair pretty much dominated, 41 kills compared to John Jay's 30. But in reality, it was very close. I mean, the first set within 6 points, the second set within 2 points, and then the third set also within 6 points. So this match was a lot closer than it felt like it was, and what the stat sheet is going to show.
And just overall, the Redhawks, I mean, they came to play today. Before we sign off here, you just want to go through a little bit of some of the big-time stat leaders here.
Yeah, so Bryn Bautista led the game, led Montclair with kills with 13, while Jaden Orava led John Jay with kills, also with 13, and then Muse had 30 total attacks. I mean, just unbelievable play from all sides, and as we know, with the assists, it's always going to be number 3, Lucy Cornelius, right in there, who's able to just set it up for her teammates. So unbelievable play from the Redhawks here, and they extend their win streak to 7.
They extended to 7. Unfortunately for John Jay, their 6-game win streak has come to an end. But for the Redhawks now, they have 3 more regular season matchups before they get ready for the NJAC tournament. They're still trying to configure, who's going to be in what seeds come tournament time. But the Redhawks, they have 3 more matches, all right here at Panzer Athletic Center, including the game this Tuesday against an NJAC opponent, Kane University. And then they have a tri-match here as well on November 8th, which is a Saturday. And that is how the regular season will come to a close. But again, Tyler, do you have any final thoughts before we sign off here?
I mean,